This is going to be a blaze one if you got one video. This, I'm trying to contain myself right now. I am shocked by reading this particular report. So the Sun Times basically petitioned. So the moment that the ATIP project came out and people became aware of it and everything else, they petitioned the government FOIA requests for information associated with the program and everything else that was associated with it. It took 4 years, and that information has been released to the Sun. They got it. And the Sun has started releasing that information to us. The first article that I read, it was like, okay, human effects, biological value, that's kind of interesting. I clicked the link to get more information on that article, and my mouth hit the floor. My mouth hit the floor. Oh my God. Just the things that are... Look, from my standpoint, my contention of things, the UFO thing was somewhat just legit. And I understood that to be true even before the rest of society took it to be true. To me, it was weird as weird can be that we ourselves on a planet falling through space at miraculous speeds, that we will be the only thing. It literally takes a God in order to have that conception of the universe to be true. If indeed we, as human beings, apes, monkeys, all that good stuff, look up at the stars and say, hey, is there something else out there? Is it possible? Is it likely in the vastness of space that there will be something that would do the same somewhere else? To me, that answer is indubitably yes. It just seems the most natural thing in the world. If it can form here, it can form there. You have life that is living in volcanic pits. I would imagine life, given an opportunity, just is. Second question, can it get here? And that's where the physicists step in and say, no, there's nothing. And with our godlike proclamation of reality. Physics is what, like 100 years old? The level of ego and everything else, in spite of the shit that they don't know and don't understand about the universe. Look, we are in a vastness of a reality space, and oftentimes we don't even question the fact that that's reality space. Like this weirdness of this being in the first place. We accept it. And I would say that there's a large question mark around what all of that is, what all of that means, if it means anything at all. Not to mention how it becomes this kind of nothingness coming into this kind of conception of reality. All of that stuff is weird. All of that stuff is strange. And when you hit that into this notion of, okay, now let's add UFOs to that. Can they get here? And according to our government, something is here. Whether that was something that was already here, whether that's some kind of just weird phenomena, it's like something they're encountering. And what it seems like they're encountering, at least based on the pilot reports, based on the documents that have been coming out from FOIA requests, based on the things that you can see on the screen itself that were basically released, technology. It's technology, call it what it is. Is it under intelligent control? That's one of the other questions, right? And whether it's under intelligent control or whether it's under some kind of automated control is irrelevant to the point. Is it us or is it not us? That is the question. And I got to be honest, at this point, whether the answer is yes, it's us, or whether the answer is no, it's not us, it is profound either way. Because the things that they're describing is so exceptional. When the Director of National Intelligence, when that report came out, and you had a lot of people in the UFO community who thought, it's a dud. Not me. My conception of it was, oh my God, the federal government of the United States has just said this is real. That all of that stuff that those pilots have been saying for all of those years, where they act like those people were kooks and crazy. No, those people were legit. Those people were encountering, seeing something, some level of technology that blew their planes out the water. And then you get many of the pilots who came out in that 60 Minutes special. I forget the name. David Fravor, for example. Fravor, experienced pilot, protecting this country on 9/11, is observing technology. And he's observing it, doing stuff that he has never seen. And when observing it, thinks, that's not us. That's not us. Now, is it possible that there is some kind of exotic technology that is doing this stuff? Potentially. But from their conception of it, multiple pilots in the sky, multiple people looking at it, boats catching on radar, it's a real thing. And that thing was doing things that was beyond the capability, at the very least, that we understand those capabilities to be. Meaning, it's either us or it's not us. But in either case, something's taking place that is utterly and entirely phenomenal. And there is some piece of technology out there, or at the very least, somebody is at the helm of something that is beyond what we, let's say, from a civilian standpoint or a governmental standpoint that is in the open, knows. That is profound. Either way you look at it. As I said, there's a mystery box. There's something in that box. And we are pretending as if that box is not there. They have opened a can of worms with that report. That report is a report screaming for another report. And like I said, you're not going to get somebody who comes out and says, yes, we're being this. You're not going to get that. What you will get is a report, a committee, a report, an investigation, a committee, a report, etc., until it gets to the point where the public is just so just like, dude, just say it. We get it. It's like the pot stuff. It's like, hey, you smoke pot? You smoke pot? Okay. Seems like everybody's smoking pot. Hey, I think it's safe to take a position on pot. It becomes that in this kind of weird way. I guess my point is, the fact that this information is coming out and the stuff that is being said in these documents is just astonishing. That's all. 1,500 pages that the Sun ended up with. And look there, like I said, man, this opens up a huge box. What about those people who said they were abducted? What about that? What about that? Like, the moment that the government says, okay, fair enough, we've been lying for all of these years about the UFO stuff. Okay, were you lying about the abduction stuff? How about that? You got to answer that. And this question doesn't become, you can't poo-poo that anymore. Meaning, you just acknowledge that there is something that is doing stuff that is violating your airspace, going into your military installations, shutting down your nuclear weapons. And you don't know what it is, and you can't stop it from doing those things. Not just that, you don't entirely even have a conception of how it's doing those things with your level of scientific expertise. You got to explain that. Like, that's kind of my point. The moment that that stuff gets said as, this is true, and not just true in this kind of abstract, okay, something weird is going on, it's not China, it's not Russia, maybe it's aliens, we don't know what it is, it's just kind of a thing. Not that level of acceptance and acknowledgement, but accept it, like the value of $1, accept it. It's that part. When that becomes this kind of transition into, that is normal, this is real. Oh my God. They're like, think of the things that you're going to have to encounter, think of the things you're going to have to grapple with as a society, not just as a society, as a world. And so, yeah, I would imagine this is probably going to be a slow process. But I would say this. The documents that the Sun is releasing on biological effects, we got to go through this. This is like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Welcome to the soapbox. Hey, I'm here at Mount Shasta. We're at the UFO convention. We're skywatching at this point, hoping to see something. Keep your eyes peeled. God, I love those videos. Every time I see those things make me laugh. So, right here, this is the name of the report. Anomalous acute and subacute field effects on human biological tissues. Real document. These were the studies that these guys were doing. All right, let's keep going. A report titled Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human Biological Tissue investigates injuries to human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems. Again, we're talking about technology. That's the point I'm trying to get at. They know it's technology. They're acting like they're trying to hide the ball. And the report, prepared by the director of, the Department of DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, Jeez, my brain just went blank all at once. Yeah, Defense Intelligence Agency warns that such objects may be a threat to the United States' interests. Humans have been found to have been injured from, quote, exposures to anomalous vehicles, especially airborne and when in close proximity, unquote. It reads, the report noted that often these injuries are related to electromagnetic radiation and links them to energy-related propulsion systems. Think about what we're saying for the moment. This report, while the government is telling you this isn't real, we don't know anything about this, they're doing all of these investigations. And this particular report was getting into not just is it real, but it is real, and it is a propulsion system, and when people are in close proximity, so right off the bat, what do you mean? People in close proximity. What does that mean? So you're basically saying that human beings are somehow interacting with some kind of propulsion system of some exotic nature with a craft. Got to deal with that. If you notice, when ATIP was going, Lou Elizondo never really dealt with what's in it. Now, my question to him was, how do you define intent without trying to figure out what's in it? Meaning, how do you determine the intent of a particular thing? It's not just the technology that you care about. That's less important than what's in it, because what's using the technology is going to be the thing that you have to basically deal with, right? Just exterior. And so it's like, how do you get to intent and threat without knowing what's it? Besides the point, they didn't necessarily want to touch it. That was too exotic. They just wanted to legitimize the basic point of this is real. So right here, it lists injuries such as heating burn injuries from radiation damage to brain and able to impact people's nerves. Quote, sufficient accidents have been accurately reported and medical data acquired as to support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understanding. It goes on. The medical analysis will not require the invention of alternate biophysics to indicate to us unconventional and advanced energy systems. The report added that it had 42 cases from medical files and 300 similar unpublished cases where human beings have been injured by anomalous encounters. I mean, like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, that is an astonishing thing. This report is basically going in and basically saying, look, we have all of these incidents of people being injured, people being harmed by various devices. No, it doesn't necessarily indicate that it was intentional or anything else. It's just indicating you have people, those people were injured, those people were harmed by these various devices. So it goes on. Let's keep going. The study argued that it's possible to use medical information to reverse engineer UFOs from unknown province that may be a threat to the United States. The report also featured a useful database which listed the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans and their frequency, compiled U.S.-based civilian research agency MUFON. It even included, right here, bizarre occurrences such as apparent abduction, unaccounted for pregnancy, sexual encounters, experience of telepathy, and perceived teleportation. Like, whoa! Like, whoa! Whoa! Holy hell! Whoa! That is phenomenal. Another fascinating document included in the file set out how categories of anomalous behavior with encounters with ghosts, yetis, spirit, elves, mythical, legendary entities classed as AN3 and witness interaction with AN3 entities. That is astonishing. That is astonishing. And right here, and in a statement bound to excite UFO hunters around the world, the report says, quote, Classified information exists that is highly pertinent to the subject of the study, and only a small part of the classified literature has been released. Basically, there is more data and information associated with it. The important part in this is not them speculating. This is them saying, look, we have all of these reports that we have been able to compile and verify and validate that this particular thing or that particular thing is occurring. That is astonishing. And look, 1,500 pages of this stuff. So the time or the Sun is basically going to be releasing this. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Man, that is phenomenal. And again, we're talking about technology. And they're taking that stuff as a foregone conclusion that this is something that these things are encountering, which means these are basically human effects, humanity dealing with something else, something anomalous. Yes. Love it, love it. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks all.